Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's Jonathan and I look at tech companies for investors. And today I'm going to have a look at Amazon. Amazon's had quite an interesting week. They posted really good results for their last quarter of last year, which is Q4 of 2020. And with those good results, Jeff Bezos decided to use it as an opportunity to resign as CEO. Now, he's not resigning completely. He's still going to be kind of involved in Amazon. He's just going to move from CEO, where he deals with day-to-day operations of Amazon, to kind of executive chairman, where he kind of looks more at the bigger picture stuff. So I want to discuss these two events. I want to discuss their final quarter results, why they happened, why they are so good compared to the previous results. And I also want to discuss how Jeff Bezos resigning could actually affect Amazon in the long run. First, let's actually have a look at how this affected the stock price of Amazon. When they released the quarterly results, they had quite a nice spike, but as soon as Jeff Bezos made the announcement that he was resigning, it balanced out and went back to normal. But this was timed pretty much to perfection, because if Jeff Bezos resigned without actually having something to mitigate the blow of him resigning, then there would have been probably quite a lot of uncertainty with the future of Amazon, and this drop could have been quite a lot worse. So it's no coincidence that this announcement and the quarterly results came in the same week. Now, this is Amazon's kind of financial results of 2020, but it's also compared to 2019, which is quite nice. And you can see quite a big increase. If we look at their net product sales, if we look at the 12 months ended of December 31st, they went from 160.4 billion to 215.9 billion. That's in product sales. In service sales, they went from 120 to 170 billion. So if you actually have a look at their total net sales of 2020 compared to 2019, they went from 280.5 to 386, which is an increase of 106 billion, give or take. That's quite incredible. Now, Amazon obviously is not just a tech company. It has quite a lot of other things that it does. It has a lot of infrastructure. It also has a lot of employees, so it has quite a lot of overhead. Now, if you actually want to have a look at how much they made after all the expenses, in 2019, they had 11.5 billion, and in 2020, they had 21.3. So after everything, Amazon's probably profit margin is just over about 5%. So it's in between about 5 and 10%. Now, it's not exactly small numbers. 5 to 10% of 386 billion is still quite a lot. Now, why such a big difference in 2019 compared to 2020? Well, the obvious reason is the fact that 2020, everybody's been locked inside. And to pass the time, quite a lot of people just shop online. But also, in terms of competition, people haven't really been able to go out to shops and shop. All they can do is really go outside and buy essential items. So if they do want to get anything that they want, not necessarily need, they have to order it online. So what's next for Amazon? Well, they do have a new CEO coming in, but the CEO is the CEO of AWS. His name is Andrew Jassy, or Jassy, depending on where he's from and how you pronounce it. If you're from Holland, then you pronounce it Jassy. If you're from anywhere else, it's Jassy. But he is the CEO of AWS. Now, AWS has been around since about 2005, and he has been a part of AWS since the inception of it, and he has made it into a $40 billion a year business. And AWS is the largest cloud provider, I think, in the world, and owns about 33% of the market of, well, cloud services. So he has a proven track record of building successful businesses. Now, the question is, can he bring the kind of same fire and the same drive for growth in building a successful business that Jeff Bezos did? Now, this is a really tricky question. And the reason that it's tricky is because when you look and you compare founder CEOs to second generation CEOs, there's quite a big difference. And a good example of this would be Apple. Apple, you had Steve Jobs. He was one of the original founders. But nowadays you have Tim Cook. But ever since kind of Steve Jobs died, Apple hasn't been an innovator like it used to. It's been more of a kind of redo what already exists or what has already been proven to be successful and just slap Apple's logo on it. Because the problem is with second generation CEOs is the best way to describe it is think of it like when you have a founder CEO, it's like raising your own child. You have your own child and you invest so much into your own child. But a second generation CEO is more like a babysitter. They really just want to be paid. And that tends to happen when you have these second generation CEOs like Tim Cook is. It's more about kind of the bonus at the end of the year and how the company performs than building a company that takes risks and innovates. Now, Andrew Jassy could come in, not necessarily with the intention of making Amazon grow exponentially forever, because if it does grow exponentially forever, then it does come under quite a lot of threat of being taken apart because it is a very big company at the moment. So he could come in and take the other approach of trying to make the company as profitable as possible so that he can give back to the shareholders in a form of a dividend, which could be something you could see in the future from Amazon. It would be quite nice, but as I was saying, it's not necessarily likely. Bear in mind, this is all speculative, but it could be something that you could see in the future from owning an Amazon share or a stock in Amazon, which would be quite nice. Now, Amazon profit margin, as you've seen, isn't actually that great compared to its revenue, but if Andrew Jassy comes in and can cut costs yet keep revenue up, then you could see quite a big difference. So Amazon doesn't necessarily have to make more money, they just have to kind of increase their profit margin a bit more. But if Andrew Jassy or Jassy comes in, let me know in the comment section down below if you actually know how to say his second name. If he comes in and he looks as a kind of conventional second generation CEO and kind of keeps shareholders happy, then you could see a dividend in the future. You could see money in the future for owning Amazon shares, not just in exponential growth. But that really does depend on kind of how much of a kind of influence Jeff Bezos continues to have. Now, this is a completely speculative video, and a lot of the information I've given is just my personal opinion on what could possibly happen. So please do not take it into consideration if you are thinking about investing in Amazon. Now, this news has been very interesting, and I am excited to see what happens in the future because we could see a much bigger impact on kind of the space race that Jeff Bezos is having with Elon Musk. We could see much more influence from Jeff Bezos in the kind of development, and you could see these two titans of industries going at it and building, well, the future. The space race used to be between like United States and Russia, but now it's not even really countries that are doing it anymore. You have the two wealthiest people on the planet, or the publicly wealthiest people on the planet, pretty much trying to drive the future forward. And that's kind of both their mantras. Elon Musk has been trying to kind of fix kind of conventional issues, and Jeff Bezos has just been kind of dominating the world for years. So I am excited to see what happens, and I hope you are too. Now, if you did like this video, I would appreciate if you like it, but that brings us to the end. Thank you very much, and have a good night.